Can ask Jay, because you were at the State Department, I think, during the first Trump administration. So how do you answer back to Fareed? Did you feel that it's better prepared? And
Yes, in the spirit of conversation, I'll pick up on the points that were just made.
Sure.
I really do believe that there is a sense of mandate and a sense of mission that's been endowed on the part of not just President-elect Trump, but by those around him. And indeed, there is a difference between now and 2016 in that Trump has the experience of having governed and is entering into office with that experience, as well as a fairly concrete sense of what it means to address his top 5 policy priorities, which not necessarily in order are tariffs, immigration, China, Russia, Ukraine, and the Middle East. Mm-hmm. However, while he has a mandate and while he is entering into office with tremendous momentum, he has surrounded himself with individuals who do not have senior level executive experience. They are, with one exception, the new head of the CIA, Ratcliffe. None of the cabinet level selectees, nominees, have served in that capacity previously. Mm. And so while he is entering with this background, with this experience, others have some ground to gain, at least in the first 6 to 12 months. What does that mean in practical terms? Well, we saw a lot of turmoil within the first Trump administration in the cabinet. Some cabinet members pushing very hard, others seeking to be very conciliatory from the beginning. I think this group will be more on the conciliatory side, more deferential to Trump than what we saw in the first go-round. The other dynamic that we saw in the first administration was around what the professional class, the civil servants, did upon the entry of President Trump and his cabinet-level leaders, particularly at the State Department, where I was serving at the time, but also in the intelligence community, both CIA, FBI, as well as at Commerce and potentially other executive-level agencies. What I would project is that there will be early retirements taken by retirement-eligible individuals who just won't want to put up with another round of uncertainty on the part of the interagency policymaking process when so much will be centralized in the White House, particularly around those 5 policy areas. So what will that mean? I believe there will be a gap on technical questions, very important policy questions, but more technical, that will not be centralized in the Oval Office in terms of decision making. And so to fill that gap, there'll be a lot of pressure on the incoming administration to push through nominees, to name nominees, and to push through the roughly 1,200 to 1,400 nominees that will take senior level positions in the administration. And of course, roughly 1/3 of those are either economic positions or national security positions. And so I would say that if you were writing this memo to your colleague who's coming in, know how to gain access to the White House, of course, but know how to work through the institutions that are going to go through a lot of turmoil. And the last point I'll make is that getting access to those institutions is going to require unorthodox access points. Some of these are proxies for President Trump. Others are gatekeepers, people who have been named as gatekeepers but play that role in an informal way. So it's going to be really important to know how to gain access, how to maintain relationships in this transition period when so much potentially could be both centralized but also in turmoil in much of the rest of the administration.
Yeah, that's a really good point.